your team, they got the 10-game win streak snap, but I mean, a good recovery and a crazy game on Saturday.
Yeah, the Cameron game was probably a game I've never been involved in. 4 overtimes, and I don't know if we've ever scored 18 points in a first half ever. Any of the teams that I've ever been a part of. That was such a low number, and then to get to 100 is just amazing. I mean, you couldn't. I wouldn't have believed you if you would have told me at halftime we're going to get to 100 points. It was just a great effort by our guys, and we never gave up. We actually told them in the locker room too. We're right there. We just missed some shots that we normally make. Got to get some stops. We stay in it, and we came out at halftime and got a few buckets and got back in it. It was a ball game all the way through.
When you get to a 4 overtime game, is there any point where you worry about what the effect would be if you guys were to lose that game versus coming out on the winning side of it?
No, I never worry about winning or losing. We try to make plays, and you make enough plays, you're going to come out on the right end. And if you get caught up winning and losing a ball game, that's when you end up losing games. And you want to play, you want to have your best effort out there. One thing that was hard was getting some more bodies in the game, and when you haven't played in that game, it was hard to put some kids in, and we kind of just rode our guys as long as we could. Both teams were exhausted. It was a heck of a game, and those that watched it on the internet, I think I got a lot of text messages about what a kind of a game it was. Great game. And then those that were there, the fans that we had in the stands, they really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of fun for us.
How's David doing?
David's doing good. He was really in bad shape at the Midwestern game. He was really tight. And then the next morning, he couldn't even put his socks or shoes on, and he had his back really tightened up, and he came down wrong in the Midwestern game, and he finished the game, but he just wasn't himself. And then we didn't start him in the Cameron game just because we didn't even know if we were going to play him. But then he did warm up; he was ready to go. He wasn't at full strength, but he ended up playing 52 minutes, so he got back into it. But he's doing good. He's getting some treatment again today. Hopefully, rest up a little bit. But we got to get right back after it because Angelo comes into town, and they were they were a top 10 team. They lost a couple games, so they're going to be really looking to get back on track too. And they're very, very talented, as well as Kingsville just knocked off Tarleton, who was undefeated in the conference. So 2 tough games coming up this Thursday and Saturday.
Talk about that, because you guys have, in our opinion anyway, been kind of slighted in the rankings. So now you've got another it's a battle with 2 powerhouses coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, the rankings, regional rankings are what really matters, and those come out at the end of January, early February, and we try not to get caught up in that. You can only do what you can do, and you play the best that you can play, and if you take care of business at home, can win home games and steal some on the road, that'll set us up well for the playoffs, for the LSC tournament, for the regional. And it's one of those things that I know the kids look at the rankings, and some of the coaches do too, but you try not to look at that because you have to really play each game separately. I mean, we started over 0-0 against Angelo, and same thing on Saturday against Kingsville, and we're not any better than they are. We got to go out and prove it each and every game.
Angelo, what kind of team do you think you're going to see? That is 2 losses in a row. They're going to be totally upset.
Yeah,
they're giving up 90 a game in those 2 too. So
yeah, Angelo's, like I said, Angelo's an extremely talented team, and I don't know what happened. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in, just like us against Cameron. We didn't make some shots. They're going to play hard, and like I said, they've got some very talented players, but it's what we have to do. We have to execute, and I know everybody runs ball screens in this league, and they've got some big players that we just don't have some of that depth that they have, and we've got to be able to get out on their shooters, and they don't shoot the ball as well as Cameron, but they're going to be big inside, and we've got to battle on the boards, and we're going to have to be ready to play a physical brand of basketball on Thursday.
Are you concerned at all about the emotional status of your team? Such an emotional game.
I'm always concerned about the emotional status because we got 18, 19, 20-year-old boys running around, and sometimes they get a little emotional about some things, but we've really been working on that, and I think Carl has really he's been in check all year long, and he had such a great game against Cameron. We've got some other kids that are really coming around, but you want to have that fight. You don't want to have anybody just you don't want to just give up or give in. You want to fight for everything, and it's going to be a battle. These games mean so much to each team, to Angelo, Kingsville, to us, that the emotions do run high, and so it's going to be a heck of a game, and hopefully we can get some fans in the stands and really get behind us because we need that support.
Ryan Quaid had 15 and 50, maybe his best game as a Buff.
Yeah, he's really asserting himself. He picks up some cheap fouls, and we're going to go through that. He actually does. He puts sometimes two hands on a guy, and he's got to learn not to do that, and he'll stay in the game a little bit longer. But he's really coming around. You know, he's only a sophomore, and he had a solid year last year as a freshman. But hopefully that's turning the corner, and he can do that. I mean, he's going to be getting more minutes, and we really need him to step up and keep playing to that level of basketball.